In the heart of Los Angeles, under the golden haze of a late afternoon sun, a bustling film set hummed with activity. Jason Statham, the rugged action star known for his steely gaze and bone-crunching fight scenes, was in the middle of shooting his latest project. At 58, he was still a force of nature, lean, focused, and carrying the quiet confidence of a man who'd earned his stripes in both Hollywood and the martial arts world. His purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in karate, and years of kickboxing training weren't just for show, they were part of who he was, etched into every precise movement he made. The scene being filmed was a high-stakes chase through a gritty alley, where Statham's character, a former Special Forces operative named Jack, was ambushing a gang of thugs. The cameras rolled, capturing Statham's signature intensity as he vaulted over a crate, landing with a thud that echoed through the set. "Cut," yelled the director, a grin spreading across his face. "That's the Stath we came for." The crew erupted in cheers, but Jason, ever the professional, just nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. He was a man of few words, letting his actions speak louder. Off to the side, a trio of extras dressed as cops lingered near the catering table. They were new to the set, hired for a minor scene later that day where they'd play corrupt officers shaking down a suspect. The three, Ricky, Nate, and Kyle, were in their late 20s, cocky and loud, their fake badges glinting under the California sun. They'd been hired through a local agency, and none of them had much experience. What they did have was an inflated sense of importance, fueled by the cheap authority their costumes gave them. To them, the set was a playground, and they were the kings. Ricky, the loudest, nudged Nate as they watched Statham walk toward his trailer. "Look at this guy," he sneered, sipping an energy drink. "Thinks he's some kinda tough guy, 'cause he's in movies. Bet I could take him in a real fight." Nate laughed, egging him on. "Yeah, man, he's just a glorified stunt double. Probably pays guys to make him look good." Kyle, the quietest but no less smug, chimed in. "Let's mess with him. Show him who's really running this set." The crew nearby overheard and exchanged uneasy glances. Everyone knew Jason wasn't just an actor, he was the real deal. The stunt coordinator, who'd worked with Statham for years, shook his head. "Those guys have no idea what they're stepping into," he muttered to a grip. But the extras, oblivious, hatched a plan to prank the star, thinking it'd make them legends among their friends. As dusk settled, the set cleared out for a brief break before the night shoot. Jason, dressed in a simple black hoodie and jeans, stepped out of his trailer to grab a coffee from the catering tent. The alley was quiet, save for the distant hum of traffic. That's when the three extras, still in their fake cop uniforms, saw their chance. They swaggered over, their boots clomping against the pavement, fake badges flashing with an air of menace. "Hey, tough guy," Ricky called out, his voice dripping with mockery. Jason turned, his piercing blue eyes narrowing slightly but giving nothing away. "We got a report of a disturbance," Ricky continued, puffing out his chest. "Some bald dude causing trouble." "That you?" Nate and Kyle snickered, circling slightly to flank him, as if they were real cops boxing in a suspect. To them, it was a game, a chance to humiliate a celebrity and post it online for clout. Jason's face remained calm, almost unreadable, but those who knew him would have recognized the subtle shift in his stance, feet planted, shoulders relaxed, hands loose but ready. He'd dealt with punks like this before, back in his days on London's tough streets. "Lads," he said, his British accent low and steady, "you're barking up the wrong tree. Walk away." The extras laughed, mistaking his restraint for weakness. "Oh, he's scared," Nate jeered, stepping closer. "What's the matter, Statham? No stunt double to save you now?" Kyle, emboldened, shoved Jason's shoulder lightly, expecting him to back down. The crew, now trickling back to the set, froze, sensing the tension. A few pulled out phones, not to record for clout but because they knew what was coming. In one fluid motion, Jason caught Kyle's wrist mid-shove, twisting it just enough to make the guy yelp. With a gentle but firm push, he sent Kyle stumbling into Nate, knocking them both off balance. Ricky, the ringleader, lunged forward, swinging a wild punch. Jason sidestepped effortlessly, his karate training kicking in like muscle memory. He grabbed Ricky's arm, using the momentum to flip him onto the ground with a textbook jiu-jitsu takedown. The thud of Ricky's back hitting the pavement echoed through the alley, followed by a stunned silence. The crew gasped, then burst into cheers. Ricky scrambled to his feet, red-faced and humiliated, while Nate and Kyle backed away, their bravado evaporating. "You're done, mate," Jason said, his voice calm but laced with steel. "Take your fake badges and get off my set." He didn't raise his voice, didn't need to. The authority in his tone was enough. But the story didn't end there. As security escorted the extras away, Jason noticed something, a flicker of shame in Ricky's eyes. The guy was angry, sure, but there was something else, a man who'd let his ego outrun his sense. Jason, who'd grown up rough himself, recognized that look. He'd been that guy once, scrapping for respect in a world that didn't give it easily. "Hold up," Jason called to security. The crew watched, curious, as he approached Ricky. The guy braced himself, expecting a lecture or worse. Instead, Jason extended a hand. "You've got fire, mate," he said. "But you're aiming it at the wrong target. You want respect? Earn it. Work hard, stay humble, and maybe one day you'll be on a set like this for real." Ricky, stunned, shook his hand, mumbling an apology. Nate and Kyle, still shaken, nodded sheepishly. Jason didn't smile, he wasn't one for theatrics, but his eyes softened. "Now get out of here," he said, turning back to the set. The crew erupted again, not just for the action but for the class Jason showed. The director clapped him on the back. "That's why you're the man, Stath." Word of the incident spread fast. By morning, it was all over social media, with fans and crew posting about how Jason Statham had dismantled 3 fake cops without breaking a sweat, then turned it into a lesson in humility. The studio released a behind-the-scenes clip of Jason training, showcasing his martial arts prowess. The caption read, "Don't mess with the Stath." For Jason, it was just another day. He didn't care about the viral fame or the memes. Back on set, he was already prepping for the next scene, sparring with the stunt coordinator to perfect a fight sequence. But for Ricky, Nate, and Kyle, it was a wake-up call. Months later, Ricky enrolled in a local MMA gym, inspired by the man who'd humbled him. He never forgot Jason's words, "Respect isn't taken, it's earned." And so, under the LA sky, the legend of Jason Statham grew. Not just as an action hero who could break bones on screen, but as a man who carried himself with the quiet dignity of someone who'd fought his way up and never forgot where he came from. The set buzzed with a new energy that night, every punch and kick in the next scene carrying a little extra weight. Because when the Stath was around, you knew you were in the presence of something real, action, heart, and respect, all in one unbreakable package.
This story is a work of fiction. It is not affiliated with Jason Statham or any real individuals. All characters and events are fictionalized for entertainment purposes.